Okay, CJ Stroud is getting some hate, and I am absolutely sick of it. He's getting some hate because I guess he's not a good quarterback. And, like, we all know CJ Stroud is a good quarterback. He had one of the best rookie seasons ever. There's no way he just lost his ability to play football. So we're going to be going over the two playoff games, the Steelers game and the Patriots game, and looking at all the fumbles and the interceptions that CJ had during those games, and really looking at if they were his fault or not. Hint, hint, the majority of them were not. Keep that word in mind. Majority. Alright, let's get into the first clip.
118!
Extra offensive lineman in there. Fisher, here's a little pitch back to Stroud, looking to air it out. Ball's out! Recovered by Pittsburgh.
Two things. Number one, why are you calling that play? That is a terrible, terrible play to do unless it really works out. And the reason it didn't work out is the reason that CJ fumbled. No protection. Those defenders just ran right in there, and when CJ threw the ball, his arm was hit and it was a fumble, and then Steelers got it. But that's not even his fault at all. It's the Texans' offensive line's fault for letting those defenders get in that easy and not protecting CJ Stroud. That one's not his fault at all. But, CJ Stroud fumbled because of something that wasn't his fault. Oh no, he's not a good quarterback. Let's get into the next one.
Snap gets away from Stroud. In trouble. Throws it. Incomplete.
That is not even his fault. That is the center's fault for it being a terrible, terrible snap. But CJ gets blamed for it. Alright, now let's move on to the next one.
In this first half.
Ball is down on the ground again. Stroud picks it up. Ball is out again.
Those two are not his fault again. The center snapped the ball, and he snapped it like too short, and it hit CJ's fingertips. Instead of going into his hands, bounced off his fingertips, went to the ground, CJ picked it up, and then he fumbles again because of the pressure and his offensive line not protecting him. That's not his fault. Remember that word too. Not protecting him. Protection CJ doesn't really have. Alright, let's go to the next one.
Stroud in trouble, finds a place to go, and he's picked!
This one's 50-50. He had some pressure, and CJ threw a pretty decent ball. He threw a pretty decent ball, but the Steelers player just made a spectacular dive and got the interception. But CJ should have threw it further from the Steelers player so that he didn't have the chance to dive for it. That's why it's 50-50. But still, it's not completely his fault. But let's go into the last one for the Steelers game, and then we will go to the Patriots game.
14-play drive have gone fumble, punt, interception, punt. And now another miss on the snap.
This one's not his fault again. This is the center's fault. It was a terrible snap. CJ was not paying attention. He was setting the running back in motion, and the center should have known what the play call was, that, okay, CJ's going to send this man into motion, and then I hike it. CJ was probably faking the hike and sent the man in motion, and when he faked the hike, that's when the ball was hiked, and then it bounced off of CJ, and that was the fumble. Okay, he had 5 fumbles against the Steelers and an interception, which on paper sounds crazy, but if you actually look at it, it's not at all. And that is why he's getting hate, because people just look at the numbers and say, oh, okay, well, he fumbled 5 times and he threw an interception. He's not that good. But if you really look at it, was it really his fault? That's why I don't look at negative stats like interceptions and fumbles, because you gotta actually see if it's hit the guy that threw the interception or fumbled fall. Because if you just look at it on paper, then oh yeah. Positive. If you do something positive, that means you did something positive. There's no look. You don't have to look at it. That just means that he did something good. And so when there's a negative stats, you really have to look and see if it was actually his fault or not.
All right, now we are looking at the Patriots game where he had 4 interceptions, no fumbles, just 4 interceptions, and we're gonna see if they were his fault. And why they were his fault?
Or if they weren't his fault and why they weren't.
Their Pro Bowl receiver. 2 big weapons not available. Stroud throws it and diving try for the interception.
Okay, that one was his fault. That's the first one that was his fault out of all of them. So he did get some pressure, but he had an opportunity. He had a really good opportunity to get it to his receiver, but he overthrew him really badly, and it was an interception. Let's get into the next one.
In trouble. That ball is up for grabs. Picked off.
That one is not his fault. He had a guy open, but he had some pressure, and when he threw it, he got hit as he released it, and it was intercepted. If he was not hit as he released it, it would not have been intercepted. It might have been a catch by the Texans or an incompletion, but he was hit as released it, and that made the ball be thrown weird. But that one is not his fault. Let's go to the next one.
Defense around in New England.
This one is off the hands and picked off.
That's not his fault at all. He threw it, perfect throw, it hit the receiver's hand, and bounced off of his hand, and it was intercepted. That's not his fault. That's his receiver's fault for not catching the ball. And then it was intercepted. Let's go to the final one.
ESPN platforms. First down at the New England 49. Play action. Stroud is picked again.
That one was 50-50 again. He hiked it, he scrambled, there was a guy that was right there, he threw it, and it was a 50-50 ball. It was like where the receiver could have got it, and the Patriots defender could have got it. And obviously the Patriots defender got it. So we looked at both the games. We looked at the fumbles from the Steelers game and the interceptions from the Patriots game. And if we really look at it, there was only one that was his fault. And that was that one interception against the Patriots. The rest of the interceptions against the Patriots were not his fault. And then all of the plays from the Steelers game were literally not his fault. But you're going to be like, oh, quit glazing CJ. It is his fault. It's not his fault. And if I was glazing CJ, I would not have said that he had that one interception that was a bad throw. Because that one was a bad throw. Y'all just look at the numbers and y'all just say, oh, he's not that good. But if you really look at the tape, if you really look at the plays, you can really see that it's not his fault at all. It mainly came down to pressure. Pressure was what it was. He gets hit as he releases it, terrible throw, hit as he releases it, fumble, and that's not his fault. That's his O-line's fault. So stop hating on CJ Stroud. He does not deserve it at all.